Hello. Hello. Y'all get in here. This show went off a little bit ago. It took I'm just gonna be real. I had to run that last argument back a couple times to make sure I had it straight. It was some things being said that I felt like deserved to be clarified. There were definitely some things said that I felt deserved to be clarified. So I did run it back to make sure I had what was said straight for the most part, because that last scene, for those of you all who watched it, for those of y'all who didn't, let me just tell you that last scene between Angela Oakley and Shamea Morton got a little interesting. It didn't just get elevated and a little loud, it got interesting with some of the things that Sister Oakley had to say to Sister Morton, Sister Mwangi. Okay, something's going wrong. Someone's on the phone. 3:00 in the morning. I didn't know what I was looking at. I said, wait a minute, this conversation took a strange turn. It took a strange turn. So we're going to get into that. But yeah, I had to run that back a little bit to make sure I was hearing everything correctly. As per normal, we on our regular live for sure. And the vertical is up. The vertical is up because we don't want to lose nobody. Eliza, our emotional support elephant, is here because I'm going to need emotional support through some of these parts. Let me greet who's in the house. Hey, Queena, you on the vertical, girl. So you know when this one ends, come over. Just hit the icon where it tell you I'm still live and come on over. Okay. Hey, Michelle Montague, how you doing, sis? Let me greet who's here, and then we're going to get into it. We got a good 7.5 pages of notes. Very few lines skipped. It was some things that went on. It was a lot of boring stuff. We got a lot more of Kelli than I ever wanted to get, but we got it. So we got to discuss it. Adrienne Marie, hey, sister. Thank you for being like number one. All right. Bianca the Beautiful is in the chat holding it down. This is our head archangel keeping that chat safe for you and me. So y'all show her some love in the chat. She's begging y'all for them likes and begging you to get your snacks. Because once we get started, y'all ain't going to want to stop to go get nothing to eat. All right. Deborah Randall is here. So Housewives Talk is absolutely legal. Y'all know how it go. All right. Hit that like button for me, ladies. Don't forget. Makeup Addict. Hey, girl. You say that lady said Drew hating on her toes. That's what she said. She said she got long toes and Drew's plotting on her toes. That's what she said. Hit the like button, Makeup Addict. Monty King. Hi. Hey, Kat. Thank you for being like number 4, honey. Y'all come on in, hit the like number, put your like button, hit the like button and put your like number in the chat, please. And thank you. Deborah Randall is number 3. Our good sis, Magaline Lamar, is like number 6. I'm so glad y'all are here. Make sure y'all like this video, share this video, because we got to get into some gossip tonight. Linnell Sala is like number 8. Queen of Hearts KS. Hey, girl. Thank you for being number 9. Situation number 9. It's blowing my mind. Glad you made it. Glad you're here. All right. Who else we got in here? DV. Hey, DV. Thank you for being like number 11. Just Anticipate is like number 12. Thank you, ma'am. Ann McKinney, my good sis, is in the house. She's number 11. Aries Diva is 16. Vanessa. Thank you, honey. I have to wear them. I don't have no real ones. So if I don't glue them on, I don't have a lash. But thank you for noticing. Ann McKinney, thank you for being number 11. Aries Diva is 16. So glad you're here. Pink Pilates Princess, this Edgar's daughter, is in the house. She's number 16. Sean Living Life. How you doing, boo? Thank you for being number 2. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, Political Junkie. My girl Sharon is number 19. Miss Niecy's number 18. Hey, girl, what's going on, Kimberly Day? We glad we got you here, sis. Thank you for being number 17. My Sweet is number 20. So glad to see you. All of you who are on the vertical, if I'm looking at you here, when this live ends, if you click on the icon for the channel, it's going to show you that I'm still live. If you tap it, it'll bring you over to our regular live. I do the vertical as well to make sure that we don't lose anybody. Okay, so y'all can hang over here if you want to until this live ends. When it does, just tap the circle, the icon for the channel. It's going to tell you I'm still live, because I am, and y'all just come on over. Okay. All right, My Sweet is number 20. Miss Lovely T is 23. We got D Crazy, D Amazing DS, and she is number 25. The Lauren Brown hit the button at the same time, and she's also number 25. We got our resident Mary Kay lady, Miss Sparkle, in the house. Y'all show her some love. Lynette Belton is here. Thank you for being 21. All right, Lisa Gordon, I'm glad you're here, love. Thank you for being 25. Anna Banana, she's number 25 too. It's something good about that 25. Miss Sparkle is 21. Black Smile is 23. Delicia Dismute, hey sis, thank you so much for being 26. I appreciate you. Jay is a Gym 8. Hey girl, thank you for being 40. Seanitra Howell, hey sis, glad you number 32. Carrie Clark is 41. All right, it's looking good. Y'all keep hitting the like button. I appreciate the support. Iron Butterfly, y'all know that's my girl. I love Iron Butterfly. She's number 41. Divine is 42. How you been doing, sis? I'm just glad you done made it back around. All right, we glad to have you. I know sometimes y'all schedules can get hectic, and then we just, we be like ships passing in the night, honey. Butterfly Bites, welcome. Rose Robinson, hello. You're beautiful too, honey. You are. Hey, Random Black, welcome. Now, is this one of my nieces or one of my nephews? This one of my nieces? Welcome, darling. Toria, thank you for being 47. Chandala is number 46. Y'all come on in. Yeah, as soon as y'all come in, hit the like button, because we got to get through 7.5 real good pages of notes. And these heifers, they acted up, namely Angela Oakley. At this point, I want to know, this one of my nephews. Thank you, love. I'm so glad you're here. Symmetry, thank you for being 51. But we got to get into it, y'all. Angela Oakley got upset, and she went to spilling Shamea stuff. And I'm like, at this point, girl, what you heard about Shamea? Because your husband is an athlete, too. So it's given Charles done heard something. Belicious, thank you for being 53, honey. Hey, Yanni, hit the like button, babe. Hit it. Shout out to, and rest in peace to DJ Rod Bass. Because, every time I used to say hit it, I was thinking about Rod Bass. Yep, I was. And now that he's gone, it just hits different. But hit it. Okay, Zelene, hey, girl, hit the like button. That's all right. Hit it on your way out. When you come back, if you watch it on a different device, hit the like button again. All right. Y'all run my likes up. Treat me right. Hey, Vicky Black, thank you for being 56. Auntie Eva is 54. Listen, tell me, what did y'all think of this episode now? Which part got you the most? Because it was a lot going on. It was a lot of nothing, but it was also a lot. J. Rochelle, thank you for being 61. Tiffany Jackson, thank you for being 62. I appreciate you. Sinclair Baptiste is 63. My girl Paige is in the house. Hey, boo, hit the like button. Megan Graves, hello, lovely. Thank you for being 57. I appreciate you. Richard Wilson, hey, cousin. Thank you for being number 21. Kristen Belton is 65. Wait, let me get a good look. Oh, ain't you cute? All right. Happy to be happy. We glad you're here, girl. Thank you for being number 68. Brooklyn Queen for you in the chat. She is number 66. And Adrian Marie with my first supporter the whole night. Thank you for the super chat. She said the waitress was interrupting Angela and Shamea. She was doing it on purpose. Them heifers was getting loud in that restaurant. Now, y'all know. It was either interrupt them or ask them ignorant heifers to leave. Catherine Bennett, thank you for being number 69. Our Birmingham beauty all the way from Birmingham, UK is in the chat. She is number 69. All right. Big sis Candace, hello. Welcome. We got somebody new. Y'all know the rules. Spam the chat with the word welcome for our new sister, Big sis Candace. I love your name. All right. Thank you, darling. Welcome again. Antoinette is 75. DM rocks with your crazy tail is in the house. That back and forth was interesting. Hey, Cass ATL, thank you for being 74. Listen, y'all hit the like button. And don't forget your engagement button on the bottom right-hand side, the circle with the heart emoji. Tap it. Send up my bubbles. Y'all know I can be sensitive, so I need my bubbles. Okay? Yeah, if y'all must curse in my chat, please misspell your curse words. While this is not Sunday school, YouTube does use AI to be checking people's chats. Just respect my house a little bit if you don't mind, okay? Queena, thank you for being 84. Texas Passion, thank you for being 30. Political Junkie, thank you for keeping track of my likes because I see you and I appreciate you. Okay, anybody who's hanging with us for the first time, like Big Sis Candace, make sure you let us know so we can welcome you personally and individually, because we happy to have you here. Diva 2, thank you for being 89, honey. Tia, hey boo, hit the like button now. Belize and JB is in the house. Thank you for being number 90, sis. I appreciate you. All right. Prince, cuz, where you been? I miss you. Me and you, us never part. I miss you so much. I love you. Camille Fun. Hey girl, hit the like button. Girl, I'm so glad to see you. So look, we got to talk about these ignorant women. They acted up tonight. They really did. They really, really, really did. Hey, Cocktails with Lovable Lisa. Thank you for being number 65, baby. Okay. We got to get into it. They did a lot. And I see the welcomes in the chat. Y'all did a splendid job of welcoming Big Sis Candace to the front porch where we get in other people's business. Okay. Because y'all know this is the best place to get in people's business, is sitting on the porch. Nice to see me. Thank you for being number 100. Hey, Money Grip. Hey, One Who Cares. Now, listen, y'all know this the vertical. So I'm going to end this one. When I do hit the icon for the channel, it's going to tell you I'm still live, and y'all just come on over to the main live stream, okay? I'm so glad to see Money Grip and One Who Cares. So I'm going to end this one. If you over here, don't move. You in the right place. If you over here, as soon as I end it, hit the circle for the channel. It's going to tell you I'm live. It'll bring you right over to the house with everybody else, okay? Thanks, guys. All right. Thank y'all for welcoming Big Sis Candace. We're so glad that you made it here with us tonight. We appreciate you. We love you, honey. Yeah, the Falcons and the Hawks. Y'all heard her say the Falcons and the Hawks. I said, what in the world is going on here? The Falcons and the Hawks. Angela, what you done heard? What Charles done told you? See, I can tell that Uncle Charles is crotchety, and he is one of them people that look like he'll tell on you. If you out there doing stuff, he gonna go back to the house and be like, you ain't gonna believe what I seen Shamea doing. I believe that. Deborah say, Kelly man spent $70K on teeth. Please, why isn't Moneybags helping to reduce her stress? Baby, because I don't believe it. I believe Miss Thing got some care credit and he gave her something on it, or he gave her the down payment money and she got to make payments on that care credit account. At the bottom where your comments are, there's I think that's how to check. If I'm not saying it right, help Richard, because I think I'm saying it right. And Richard sent a cash app. Thank you. Hold on, let me send a heart back. That's my cousin. That's my cousin. Thank you, Richard. I just seen it. I just sent a heart back. Thank you so much. My girl Breesh in the house. Breesh M. She's like number 109. So is One Who Cares. Thank you, ladies. Listen, let's get in here and let's get into this. If I missed anybody, please understand, y'all. Charge it to my head and not my heart. I love you dearly. And if I missed you, I promise you it was not intentional. Lulu's little girl, thank you so much for being number 111. Again, if it's your first time, let us know it's your first time here by saying it's your first time, or type FTL for first time live so we can welcome you. If you see somebody you ain't seen in a while, tell them it's good to see them, because it is. We still on this side of the dirt. So it's good to see everybody. Our moderators are here, these beautiful ladies with these wrenches. They're here to keep the chat safe for you. So be sweet to our moderators, be sweet to your host, and we're going to be sweet to you. And y'all, please be sweet to each other. No bickering or arguing or disrespect of any kind is tolerated in my chat. So please don't you never, ever try it. We talk trash about these people on these shows and not about each other. Okay? All right? Hey, Dr. J, what's going on, sis? Now let's get into what done happened. Let's get into what done happened. Yeah. Well. Tonight got rough, y'all. Tonight got rough. Thank you again for being here. Y'all hit your like button. Put your like number in the chat. If I can ever get my likes without begging, we're going to play the like lottery again. I miss playing with y'all. It's a lot of fun. I really do miss playing with y'all. So if y'all can get them likes up, then we can go back to playing the like lottery, because I have a blast doing it. And really feel bad that we can't do that no more like we used to. So let's get into these notes. So everything started this evening where they left off, as always, with Kelli and Porsha hooting and hollering. Well, Kelli goes inside and she got the right one, and I'm 5'1", but I 6'7" your A, and you not doing nothing to that great big old girl. Who you fooling? So I'm just sitting there listening to her, and she immediately went into victim mode, in my humble opinion, by my estimation. Y'all don't even know what I've been through this week. Nobody cares what you've been through this week. What does what you've been through this week have anything to do with you taking shots at this lady and she wasn't even talking to you? What you bothering that woman for? Deborah Randall, thank you for the super chat. She said, thank you for all the lives last week. Boy, y'all made me work, baby. Things was going on. I started to go live again because I do have the bank documents from the young lady that Black took the $69,000 from, which is also the same lady that Drew Sidora took $20-some thousand from and didn't want to pay back. Big sis Candace said, I'll be in the bushes tonight, but if I don't come back in the chat, I hope y'all have a wonderful, blessed night. Well, we appreciate you, sis. We do. I'm just glad you're here hanging with us. And please don't let it be your last time. Don't let it be your last time. Please make sure you come hang out with us again. Yeah. Okay. Pink Pilates Princess, she mean 1'5". Just inch high private eye. Okay. Inch high private eye. So she's in there. They don't know what I've been through this week and all these other things. And I'm trying to understand, what does that have to do with your behavior? So because you had a bad week, K Michelle and Porsha going back and forth equals you jumping in and being derogatory. And it's like, hey, you put yourself in that position. So Porsha went right back at you talking about the preacher. Oh, and we got another clue on the preacher, y'all. It obviously ain't who y'all talking about. It can't be that kind of big older dude, because she said it's a Nigerian preacher. So now I wants to know who the Nigerian preacher is that's friends with the man that her and Kelli used to go with. Is he also a Nigerian? Is that why Kelli made the statement, Porsha go with every Nigerian in Atlanta? What the hell going on? So the man y'all both was dating was Nigerian, and so is his friend who is the preacher? Thank you, Sean. Listen, but put a 1 in the chat if y'all heard that clue, because I heard that clue about the Nigerian preacher. I'm just saying, put your number in the chat if you heard that, because I heard that. My ears perked right up. I said, wait just a doggone minute. What is going on? Yep, Adrian, we getting a clue every minute, every episode. I see the ones. At least I ain't the only one heard that, because I was sure trying to figure out. Now, wait, did my ears deceive me? I had to run it back. I had to run it back to make sure I was hearing right. Hey, Cynthia Christian. So I'm sitting there like, okay, so he's a preacher. He married. So for those of y'all who do play internet detective, it's given y'all might want to check Phaedra to see which Nigerian preacher she following, now that we know his nationality. And Janetta Porter, hey girl, thank you for being 117. Yeah, y'all was really real sure about some of them people, but it's given. Don't be so sure. It ain't who y'all thinking, because y'all ain't mentioned no foreign preachers. Y'all was talking about American, homegrown Black American preachers, and that ain't what it was. And Porsha was like, look, don't be getting in the middle of what's going on with me and K Michelle, acting like you mad for K Michelle. If you mad because I told about you hunching that preacher, just say why you mad. Porsha had a valid point. If you mad about Reverend King Dangalang, say you mad about Reverend King Dangalang. I think that's a fair ask. Say what you mad about one good time, and then everybody can move on with their lives. I think that's fair, right? So anyway, after, don't nobody know what I'm going through, Phaedra was trying to tell them, look, I'm going to tell the people to make y'all some to-go plates. A Nigerian preacher, how was that the BET? They be at BET Awards. They be over here everywhere we at. We can't even have Juneteenth celebrations without people that's from other countries trying to take that over. So it being the BET Awards, what that mean? White folks own BET now. So they can let in and everybody be there. That. They even tried to give the BET Hip Hop Awards to foreigners. And then when people said they weren't coming, they had to just not televise it. Could it be job Shamea did intro him to Kelli. She do have the African connect. You so crazy. You so crazy. Nitra, I was wrong last week. I apologize. Noah didn't say when he met Shamea. You was right. You know, listen. Sis, I be having that notebook on deck. But sometimes you have to go back and play stuff. And I realize when y'all watch things, y'all just watch it one time through. So that's why I never really, go back and forth. Because I know, like, if y'all go back and listen, if I heard it right, if you go back and listen, then you'll hear the same thing I heard, But yeah. So anyway, they went back and forth with that. Porsha wanted to go back to the table and sit down and eat. She ain't want no to-go plate, which who's surprised there? Porsha always want to go eat, right? So she always want to go eat. They end up going back to the table. Yvette say the pilot was nominated 2025 BET Awards. Right, but we don't know if that's the same pilot because Porsha didn't say that the man got nominated, did she? She didn't say that. She just said he was he wasn't no stewardess. He's a preacher. They met on the plane and she was dealing cat. And it was the weekend of the BET Awards. She never said the man got no nomination, I don't think. Okay? Porsha got to keep that tail inflated. Why she got all the eating? Touche. That would be how you keep a big old rumper on you, is eating. So, they went back and sat down. Kelli said she was going to leave and Shamea went with her. And it's good that she left because what was you going to come back to the table to do? There was no way to come back and play it cool after you just picked the whole thing. Right. Tankard was. But tonight, Porsha said it was a Nigerian pastor. So now I got to wonder. Is this somebody from Redeemed Church? Is there a Mountain of Fire church over there in Atlanta? Is, which kind of church? Is this one of the Anglican churches? This one of the, the Nigerian Catholic churches? Like, what church is this man a pastor of? And so the show just went off, and I just had time to get y'all notes, run the conversations back, and make sure the notes were straight. So I haven't had time to go and look up all the Nigerian churches in Houston. I haven't had the opportunity. I can tell you I'm probably going to because I ain't no good. Riding or walking. So I can guarantee you I'm probably going to see, if there's a Mountain of Fire or Redeemed Church over there, I hope he ain't no pastor down over to the Mountain of Fire. I hope that ain't what's going on because, them people supposed to be real sanctified, shout real good, call down fire from heaven, all that. So I would hate to think that that's what time it is. Okay? I would hate to think that it's one of them good sanctified pastors or one of them charismatic Catholic pastors. We just gonna have to find out. That's all I can say. But yeah, we did get that little tidbit. So Kelli left, Shamea left with her. Angela was like, she met up with Kay and she felt bad for Kay and she felt like Kay's feelings were hurt. And I'm like, what is Kay feelings hurt about? It's given K Michelle's feelings are hurt because she's not the center of attention. Not the center of attention. I probably won't be looking forever because you got to remember, these people are not the majority in this country. So there's a bunch of churches in Atlanta, but I refuse to believe that there's hundreds of Nigerian churches in Atlanta. It ain't enough Nigerians to sustain that. So I seriously doubt it. Okay? But yeah. So Angela talking about, her feelings hurt. And she was talking about she didn't want to have a year like she had last year. Meanwhile, nothing happened to Angela last year. Everything that Angela was pretending was happening to her, Angela fabricated it. So is she trying to say she don't want K Michelle to try to fabricate something like she did last year with Junebug? What is she even saying? Because what are we feeling bad for K Michelle about? She even went so far as to say that it was probably hard for her to hear Drew telling her she just don't belong. I mean, I feel like people dang near said that to Drew. Like Drew was hazed hard. Kenya Moore hazed the piss out of Drew her first season. So I mean, if K Michelle is getting some of that from Drew, unfortunately, sometimes people who get hazed go haze other people. I don't know what else to say. Jay Rochelle say that's exactly what it is. She's not the center of attention. That's all I'm saying, because nobody is doing anything to K Michelle. Nobody. I've seen no one on that show mistreat K Michelle. Not a soul. Auntie, you would say, I'm tired of all this pampering of K. And so am I. And so am I. I'm tired. Because a lot of them ladies catch hell. If we're going to be honest, when Porsha first came on the show, she caught hell. Mostly from Kenya, and they both came in at the same time, but she caught hell. Phaedra had a little, I won't say the roughest of times, but Nene wasn't that nice to Phaedra when she got there either. So a lot of these ladies, they first season be a little rough, and it just kind of is what it is. K Michelle is not a baby, nor is she a newbie to reality TV. So yeah, absolutely not. And you're right, Jay Rochelle. Drew's kind of been through it a little bit. And I can admit that even with me saying openly, frequently, I don't like Drew Sidora at all. I don't like her for anything. But she did take her hazing pretty good. Then she kind of got into victim mode, but that's another story. You know, it's just neither here nor there. Diaz said K crying because she need to change her pamper. Diaz, ladies and gentlemen, she will be in charge of the reflection corner. If you happen to be as crazy as Diaz, she may have to come and collect you so you can hang out with her for an indeterminate number of seconds, just to hang out with her. Y'all, it's snacks in the corner. I heard she keeps the chairs organized. So nice. Sean Living Life say they all gone out the way to handle K Michelle with kid gloves like she's fragile. Exactly. So anyway, Angela really got on my nerves with that. Kay is over there in the confessional talking about Drew Sidora, say Drew has a hun face, which I ain't gonna lie, I chuckled at, because Drew Sidora does do that a lot. I ain't never heard it called a hun face, but if I'm being honest, that was pretty funny. But then she took it too far. Change your face. The face got a man in the basement and this and that. And I'm just like, yo, leave Ralph in the basement alone. Ralph is no longer in the basement. And even if he is, Ralph is not on the show this season. Why is K Michelle talking about Ralph? K Michelle is giving fan of. K Michelle is giving fan of. And we're going to have to address that later in this episode when she starts bringing up Cynthia's friend contract. Andy Cohen, dear white Powder Ranger, stop bringing fans on the show. Pinky Cole is a fan. Kelli is a fan. And K Michelle is a fan. And I never thought I would be saying K Michelle is a fan, but clearly you a fan. Okay? And I ain't talking about a freaky A ninja, but you definitely a fan. Okay? And enough is enough. Hey, Queen, Dr. Queen Lily Young. My sister is here. I love you, girl. Beautiful as always. So look, they sat down for that. She said the girl got a hun face. Phaedra went and sat down with K Michelle and Stanky Cole. And Phaedra was like trying to meet with them, I guess, to mediate, calm things down because it is at her house. K Michelle wants to leave, which is fine. I get it. I do, but then I don't, because Kay really didn't get into the biggest situation, but she did make things with Drew bigger than it had to be. She did do that. Yeah, Kay is the biggest fan to say that. For real. Oh, sissy, I love you. Okay, so then Pinky was like, oh, I like this Phaedra. And I got immediately irritated. Pinky, this is the only Phaedra that Phaedra's ever shown you. Can somebody tell me if I'm wrong? The season is only, 7 or 8 episodes in. Phaedra has been nice to Stinky Cole. Phaedra has not said anything nasty really about Stinky Cole until she started attacking her, saying she eats dead people, which I still don't know what the hell that means. And she's like, oh, she gave me a bath and fixed me a plate. And it's like, but Phaedra has been nothing but nice to this chick. You literally had an attitude with Phaedra based on what Shamea told you, which was a bold-faced lie. Shamea was fully aware, and I mean fully aware, that Kelli said she saw you eating a steak. But instead of her saying nothing at all, she decided to run it to her that somebody said you was eating meat, and just decided to lie and say it was Phaedra. It was just a bold-faced lie. That's what it was. And I think she only like tried to walk it back and was like, well, I mean, maybe I am wrong. Phaedra do record every conversation. And it's so funny that Shamea said that. Put a 7 in the chat if y'all remember her saying that when she was trying to walk it back. And was like, so she probably recorded it. If she says she didn't say it, then she probably didn't say it. Now I'm gonna have to go apologize again. And it's like, you just lied on that lady, and your mind made you remember that the people were filming at the time. The cameras were there. That's what clicked in her brain, like, oh crap, it's on camera, and I just lied on that lady. Yes, Pinky is a weirdo, and I don't like her. I don't like her. Her little weird little anti-Black American comments, I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it. Not with somebody with leftover facial parts. I wish I would. I should never. Hey, Brittany Janae, hit the like button, boo. Yeah, I would never. Can never. There's no way I could entertain that. There's no way. Absolutely no way. But anyway, moving right along. She likes this Phaedra. Like that ain't, like the lady ain't been giving her that version of herself since she met her. It just really irritated me. So Pinky and K left, and they were talking and trying to, I guess, reason how the situation got that far out of hand, because it really did get out of hand. It really, really did. And it was a lot. So they basically was saying, well, Kay, when you was trying to talk, Drew Sidora butted in. Drew did butt in. But I feel like y'all all butt in on each other. And for Pinky, of all people, to take part in that conversation with zero grace, and I'm never asking for grace for Drew Sidora. Y'all know that. I'm never asking for grace for her. She's not somebody I ask for grace for, right? But for Pinky Cole, of all people, to be talking about, oh yeah, she was cutting you off. Pinky cuts off everybody. People can't get a word in edgewise. If they're talking to Stinky Cole, they can't get a word in. So it's wild to me to hear her try to explain, like, oh, well, Drew kept cutting in. She didn't want to let you talk, right? Angela's still in the confessional talking about, she just want to be on the side of right. And I felt like she was alluding to the fact that she felt like Drew was not right. Y'all, it's 60 people that have not hit the like button, and I need y'all to do right by me. Okay? Please. Thank you. I don't want to stop to do a Turkish lesson. I can, though. But please, let's not. Okay? Hit the like button, guys. Phaedra was like, well, telling them, like, K Michelle says she don't know how it got to this point. She has no idea how it got to this point. And Porsha was like, well, when Kelli was saying the little rude, nasty stuff, making her slick comments, she said K Michelle was chiming right in. So I was like, oh, is this a double up? Like, y'all both going at me? And then production played it back so we could see they were absolutely playing off each other. So it looked like the Loser Alliance. And for those of you who are new, the Loser Alliance is absolutely Kelli, Shamea, K Michelle, and Stinky Cole. Because for whatever reason, they want the group fractured. And they want it fractured so it can be all of them attacking Drew and Porsha. I'm not sure how they came up with that. But that's what we're seeing. I think we can all be honest. That's what we're seeing. Not Kay bothered by the pretty girls. Kay pretty too. She's just a bag of pecans. Every cast member has said that about Pinky. Absolutely. Hey, Black Lassa. Yep. Porsha was absolutely right. They were definitely playing off of each other, and it was very, very painfully obvious. Okay. So at that point, Kay was like, Porsha she was talking about Porsha. She was like, you don't run me and you don't run Atlanta. And it's like, who said Porsha runs Atlanta? I've never heard anybody say that. I've heard people allude to the fact that Candy got a lot of pull in the streets in Atlanta, but I've never heard anybody say Porsha runs Atlanta or Porsha thinks she runs Atlanta. It's giving K Michelle came in and she thought she was going to be like a breakout star and the whole season was going to be the K Michelle show. And she's really bothered by all of the attention that's on Porsha. But in reality, K Michelle, you're contributing to a lot of the attention that's on Porsha because you keep focusing on Porsha and trying to stretch and throwing your shoulder out of socket, reaching for a beef with this girl. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. So then we get this strange, disjointed, super fake scene with Shamea, her mama, her daddy, and her sister. Something about some jelly and cheese grits. I don't know what the hell going on. Everybody's standing around in the kitchen. The daddy looked confused and uncomfortable. Her mama looked like she got on way too much makeup. Is it me? Is it me? Or are we not noticing that Shamea's mama is looking weird? She's wearing this long stringy wig that we never seen this lady in. And now she got on this casket makeup like she borrowed it from K Michelle. What the hell is going on? Yeah, Shamea is a shameful liar. Y'all know I don't like catching people in lies. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me not like the show. Lily says, I'm not a big fan of Porsha, but hey, she's been vindicated. Kay needs to go. Porsha isn't bothering her. Porsha will defeat her in more ways than one. All Porsha got to do is sit on that girl. And it's over. Them cakes. I'm just saying, crushed. Hey, Sasha Bunny, thank you for being 148. It's not just me, right? Now, see, Belicious, you laughing. I'm being dead serious. Have y'all noticed? I didn't say Miss Sarah had a strong face. That ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when we saw Miss Sarah before, Miss Sarah had a conservative hairstyle. If she had on face powder, it was her real face color. She didn't have on them eyelashes and makeup around her eyes. It looked weird to see an elder fix like that. I'm just going to be honest. That lady didn't look like that before. She didn't. And I don't know what she's doing, but it's strange, and I really wish she would stop. It's weird. Like, Miss Sarah, no disrespect, ma'am, but please stop. She looks weird like that. Last season, even though we had heard the story, we know she got a little reptile in her or whatever. Okay, cool. But she didn't look like this. She looked like a regular, mama. I saw Miss Sarah and it was like, okay, I can't help but call you Miss Sarah because that's what I'm seeing. Miss Sarah. I don't understand what this thing is that she's doing. I don't understand it. And it's off-putting. I'm just telling it from my perspective. It's off-putting to me. I'm like, what the hell are we looking at? Sarah is camera ready in her mind. Now, indeed, she was hanging with them at the club. Yeah, she was, according to the little African fella that put his naked feet on your counter, Nosh, that Shamea and her mama met them at the club. I can't even imagine that lady. Every other word is the Lord this and pray for that, but you at a club. I'm nowhere near that lady's age, and you're not gonna catch me in no club. Mother dear, what you doing at the club? Y'all don't think that's messy? Let me shut up. Let me just mind my business and move on. So they're up there talking. She tells them about Phaedra's event and that her floaty had a leak in it. And I'm like, oh, did y'all do that to me? And even her family didn't jump in on that because it was just that stupid. She tells them that the group is divided ever since Dallas. Honey, the group was divided before y'all went to Dallas because the Loser Alliance had already been having meetings. Okay? Lauren says, and as he said, they was all drunk. Right. Imagine. Can you imagine? I'd have been shamed to death if my mama was at a club drunk. My mother would never. Lord rest her soul. I mean, Christians are allowed to have a drink. I'm just saying because the lady is an elder and she's behaving like she's an elder saint. You an elder saint, it's some stuff you supposed to outgrow. I'm thinking by the time you hit 70, you should have outgrown the club. I'm not going to say a Christian can't go dance or have a sip because that's foolishness. Don't nobody think that but heathens. But, at a certain point as an elder saint, you should have outgrown some stuff. That's all. Cass says she want to look like Miss Diane. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna be careful what I say because that lady's old enough to be my mama, but it looks bad. Sadly mistaken says Sarah's trying to prepare to meet Miss Diane, just like her daughter can't hold a candle to Porsha's aura, and like ability, she can't hold a candle to Diane's. Maybe that's where the problem started, child. Adrian say the group was divided last season because of Shamea. Right. That's all I'm saying. If you're a Christian, you want to get a drink, I'm not going to tell you it's a sin because it ain't. People make up rules. They can't keep up with the real rules, but they make up new ones. Don't listen to nobody. Do what you're supposed to do, follow that word or whatever. But some of this stuff Miss Sarah doing look crazy. So they start talking about, she tells them that Angela saying she the one stirring the pot with K Michelle. If I'm going to be honest with y'all, I still believe that Shamea is the one stirring the pot with K Michelle. She's helping to. I'm not going to say she's the lone, it's just her, because we know K Michelle is a bag of pecans and K Michelle will tell a lie. However, I do believe she got a hand in it. And if she didn't, why would that bother you so much? Why would you keep bringing it up unless you know your hands are dirty? That's what I think. Kimberly Day says, I don't understand why Shamea have to tell her mom what happened on camera. Me either. When Porsha was telling Lauren what was going on, Miss Diane got up and out the way. She sure did. She went up there with the churn. Because if you grown, why you care about what your children's friends are talking about or doing? That is weird. It is. And then her mama got weird again. Oh, they just want to feel like you the one being negative. You let them keep what she said, because I wrote this down. Let them keep their crazy garbage thoughts. I don't really know what that means, but it sounded funny. The crazy garbage thoughts. Okay. Hey, Rochelle, thank you for being 157, girl. So then they start talking about the surrogacy and he want a boy and I'm scared because I got one baby that's got health issues and I may have to take care of her forever. I got one male, one female. We wanted a big family, blah, blah, smackety, smackety. We done did umpteen transfers and it keep failing. Maybe the Lord don't want y'all to have no more children. You think of that? You know, not picking, but you know, how many times we gonna talk about this? You either gonna have a baby or don't. And if it don't work, then you may have to just accept that it ain't finna happen. Okay? Because that man is 19 years older than Shamea. And I think that Shamea may be feeling like it's a lot hinged on her ability to get a baby. Because that man is 19 years older than her, and he seems to be a very responsible man. He doesn't come across like one of them playboy types, or like he's, you know, just like hot and tight girls. It's given he went and got a young wife so he could guarantee he could have some children. And now they run into a snag because sometimes things happen. Life happens. You can't always get the things you plan not to get. You know what I mean? Sometimes people plan, I'm going to get out of school, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to save money for 6 years and we're going to buy a house. My Peanut here, she number 157, y'all. Y'all tell Peanut, hey. But then sometimes things happen. Maybe the business don't go great. Maybe you can only have 2 children. Maybe you was planning to have 3. Maybe you can't have none. Because some women plan their whole lives and then you get bad news at the doctor's office. So anything can happen. But Shamea's reaction to all of this is making me feel like she knows that there's a lot more hanging on getting this boy than she, you know, is kind of letting on. And I hope that's not what's going on, because I like to see Black marriages thrive. I don't like to see people walking in and out of marriages. If you can stay, please, by all means, stay. Liberian Chili, Cayenne Pepper, Miss Cheryl, she's number 159. Hey, Reds. Red say her mom is giving out wicked energy, Christian snake. I don't see no Christian. Shut up, Seanitra. I ain't got nothing to say. But what you just said. What you just said. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, Shine Bright. Say things happen, especially when you do a destiny swap with your bestie. A failed one at that. Y'all so sweet. Everybody saying hey to Peanut. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, Antoinette says, so Jared gonna be 82 at the son's graduation. Possibly. It's possible. Okay, Aries Divas with me. I'm kind of tired of hearing about the Megs too. Yep, and her, yeah, I can't say that, but what she just said, because I don't want to hear about her putting her mouth on that old man either. I don't want to hear about you putting your mouth on nobody. Let's just get that out the way. That ain't my type of talking. That ain't my type of talking. I don't like that kind of stuff. Evie says, I felt a little bad for Shamea because it definitely seems like it's very important for her to have Mo. Yeah, me too. I don't like her, but I don't like the feeling I'm getting. Like if she can't deliver that boy, it might be a problem, and I don't want that. Shamea can't lose that good money. I mean that good man. I mean that good money. Shamea, don't you lose that good money, man. That don't lose that. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, not bankruptcy and eggs. Lord Jesus. Jasmine Fudge. Shamea is mad that Porsha can move forward with everybody except for her, but their history is real. And Porsha has finally realized that Shamea was jealous of her since day one. Ooh, Jasmine Fudge bringing the heat. Sis, this your first time hanging with us? I believe it is. Y'all type welcome in the chat, spam the chat, and tell Jasmine welcome. We glad to have you, baby. Make sure you subscribe because we want you to come back. Now, Paige says Shamea is simple and silly. She'll risk it all for fame. She's a fool. Big one. She better not mess up that good money. That'll upset me so bad. I believe that'll upset me more than all these shenanigans and lies she telling. Don't she better not mess up that good money. I know that. So anyway, all that done went on. Then we see Porsha, Dennis, and Pilar riding through the drive-through in the Rolls Royce. Simon just mad over there. I know that man is over there, just mad, shadow boxing. She still driving around in the Rolls Royce with the mandarin orange interior. This your second time? Well, we happy to have you. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Like Carter, we so glad to see you. Every welcome still stands. We glad to have you, honey. Shine Bright say Shamea wanted Porsha's life, but she isn't as happy as she thought she'd be in it. I mean, Shamea wanted her own life. You got to remember, Shamea didn't just marry Gerald. She didn't just marry Mr. Morgan. She been married to him for a little minute. A good little minute. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Talk, thank you for being 166. All right. Yeah, Shamea got it made and don't know it. That's why I don't understand her discontent. But yeah, so they in there. Angela's over apparently at one of her properties killing spiders. Drew sat down with her manager and her manager immediately told her, you came in late. So Drew just be late everywhere. So then we go to Kelli showing up to Phaedra house. This was a little interesting. So Kelli come over there being fake and phony, telling Phaedra, oh, you look gorgeous. This girl, did you forget you were just calling her freaking fraud with Porsha? Mind you, Phaedra ain't did nothing to Kelli. She ain't been nothing but nice to Kelli, playful with Kelli. Now you calling her gorgeous, but you were just calling this lady a fraud. Which fraud? That's why I say she's a fan. So because Nene called freaking fraud, you up here regurgitating lines. Regurgitating lines, just like K Michelle, just like Pinky. I must have rehearsed my lines 1,000 times until I had them memorized. Because these hoes up here memorizing lines from the last 16 seasons. We watched them the first time. We don't need to hear you run the lines back. We need something new. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give Angela Oakley her credit because I ain't never in my life heard nobody tell somebody their teeth was co-mingling. Now, it's a little crazy, but at least it was original. Okay? Hey, Nurse Angel. Says Shamea is the prime example that money won't make you happy. But I don't know why. How come? Welcome, Nurse Angel. It don't make no sense. We don't want to hear them lines reheated. Don't go reheating nobody nachos. Leave that alone. So, you know, she over there being phony. And not Porsha, Phaedra pointed out, like, girl, you ain't got on no bra. And Phaedra's silly as hell. In the confessional talking about her boobs hanging low, sweet chariot. Hang low, sweet chariot. Not the boobs hanging low. I was kind of outdone by that. It was a lot. And the fact that Kelli keep talking about 265 days and all that. Okay. Dr. Queen Lily says she my backup singer. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Brandon Martin. Hey, boo. Thank you for being like number 165. 7.5, honey. 7.5. You are welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, that's a part of Asian, but you ain't supposed to go out there without no Brazil on. I'm toting knockers, but you ain't gonna catch me going out there in the street with my boobs just these puppies running all off the porch and stuff. I ain't mad at age because we all, you know, that's how you win. The only way you don't get old is if you die. But you ain't got to go out there just with them things on the loose. You ain't got to do that. Hey, Natoya, why didn't Kelli ask Phaedra about co-signing Porsha? It's a lot of things she should have been asking. But she couldn't ask that because then she'd have put Phaedra in a position to tell her, girl, you know I know. She ain't going to ask her that because she don't want her to have to answer her on that camera. Shamea grew up well off, so she don't appreciate Gerald's well. But what's baffling is that she was always on the hunt for men with money, and I'm not mad at that. She appreciates his wealth. She just don't have good sense because she didn't grow up like that. She didn't grow up like that. Your daddy was driving trucks. At one point, so did mine. That's not rich. You be good. You be good, but that ain't rich. AP said Kelli had the opportunity to ask Phaedra about the married man who Porsha accused her of hanging out with. Of course she did, but she's not gonna do that. Yes, girl, them puppies was running off the porch. They was hanging low. Okay. Robo's adventure. Phaedra needs to be careful constantly talking about her co-workers' body parts. Oh no, Andy Cohen gonna encourage that. Remember, Andy Cohen let Candy put vibrating drawers on people coochie and pass out the remotes to different strangers. They'll let her talk about body parts. They could talk about them. Andy likes it sleazy. The sleazier, the better. Ian McKinney, thank you for the super chat, girl. She said Angela also told Britt she had miles on her mouth. LMAO, that was wild. Yeah, Angela she not regurgitating a lot. I don't know that I've called her regurgitating, but if so, she ain't regurgitated a lot. Welcome to the porch, Robo's adventure. Welcome. Y'all spam the chat with the word welcome for these new sisters. Anybody who's new, please put FTL for first time live so we can welcome you to the chat. Chat, y'all responsible for making sure everybody feel welcome. Don't have new people come in and you act like you don't see them. That's not nice. Don't do that. Okay. Mods, y'all tighten up. Make sure we don't miss nobody. So she's talking to her about it or whatever. Kelli apologized for being a ratchet. And Phaedra was like, I know your emotions was high, but I don't want the group to stay fragmented like this or whatever. I guess she was trying to keep peace. And that makes sense. Hey, Kay Blake, I seen you. Hey, Tammy C. I see you, girl. So that kind of made sense a little bit. And so then Kelli was like, well, Porsha was pointing her finger in her face. And upon review of that tape, Porsha did point her finger in her face when she was like, you sleeping with every Nigerian. And she was like, girl, you effing everybody, and you definitely effing that preacher. I'm sorry, Kelli. I believe her because she ain't going that hard in front of everybody. Because we know when Porsha be done said something she trying to run from, remember who said that? She ain't playing coy. She ain't pretending she ain't said it. She's saying it loud, proud, in front of the camera, in front of everybody while pointing the finger. Now, after reviewing the tape, Porsha absolutely did put her finger in that girl's face first. She did. Okay. Then Kelli put the glass in her face. I think Kelli might have been okay if she'd have pointed it back, but she put the glass in her face, and I guess she forgot what happened to the last security guard that put an object in that girl's face. I would probably want to remember what happened to the last security guard, but she didn't. And so they moved Kelli because Kelli's stupid. Apparently, Kelli think that she really trusts Porsha's anger management and stuff. I don't know why you trust it. I just wouldn't. Sometimes slow people be real strong. I just, I ain't saying nothing. I'm just saying something. And she was being loud like she didn't think that big old girl would reach across and get her. Porsha's a big old girl. She's a big, beautiful girl, but Porsha's a big old girl. I don't understand how you thought that could work out for you. It just wasn't smart. But they got her out the way, and she's screeching and hollering and stuff, and then said she wasn't coming back to that table. Okay? Yeah, I hear all that. But when the person in question ain't been able to answer no questions, and other people outside of Phaedra and Porsha know about it, Kelli can wrap that up. You may as well tell us who the man is, honey. You may as well tell us who it is, because most of us don't believe her. You was popping coochie, Kelli. You was popping coochie. Now you can come on and come clean, or you can keep pissing Porsha off till she give us all the hints. Evie said, I think Porsha would have been okay with a finger back, but the glass is what got her. Yeah, and I'm sitting there like, Kelli, you can't afford to break no glasses at Phaedra table. Phaedra got Versace dishes. You better not break nothing at that girl table. Kay say, Kelli don't believe fat meat greasy. Kenya's dragon is forever on the internet. I guess Kelli want the same. She do. That girl need a lawsuit. And that's the other reason that I know that it ain't no lie. As bad as Kelli need money, if Porsha was lying on her, she'd have went and got her a lawyer. to try to get some defamation bread. She would have got her a lawyer to get some bread. She ain't even sent a cease and desist. She ain't did no type of legal papers because she know she been out there pop the coochie, pop that coochie, baby. She was popping it. She was popping it. Oh no. Too many people can't confirm this mess. She was out there popping that cat. And I ain't shaming nobody for fornicating. If you're fornicating, you're fornicating. Okay? But if you know you doing stuff like that, don't get in the habit of pissing people off because somebody gonna tell your business. Tia say Kelli would be fired and Porsha would have messed her up. A double whammy. You so crazy. You're not wrong though. Yeah, a glass in the face does equate to a weapon. I will admit to that. It does. Absolutely. What Tia said, I wanted Kelli to smack Porsha so we could see what happened. Lord Jesus. Why you want that girl to get beat up like that? I just told y'all, Porsha too big to be hitting them, that girl. She too small. Yep, she said it was a Nigerian preacher. That's what she said, girl. That's what she said. It's in the notes. But yeah, so they had their little talk or whatever. Yeah, Discovery would be something else in that case, baby. Discovery would have Kelli really embarrassed. I think Porsha would have gotten violent if security had stepped in. Probably. And that wouldn't have been good. That wouldn't have been good for anybody involved. Instead of a finger, Porsha should have slammed a shepherd's pie in Kelli's face. No violence. Brian, thank you for the super chat. Say, hey, Nitra, I believe Jarvis might be related to the preacher. Brian, thank you for the super chat. I didn't think of that. Dag nabbit. But yeah, and she was telling Phaedra that she couldn't film with her daughters, and that was upsetting her because basically the way I took from what Kelli was saying was that her children wanted to film and they felt like, oh, does it mean we weren't good enough to be on the show? First of all, you shouldn't be having your children feeling like they are part of the show like that to where they, is messing with their little self-esteem and stuff. Because I don't like the idea about children feeling bad. But what were you telling these children? Were you having them feeling like, oh, y'all are stars on the show, so now that's why they feel like they being rejected or something? Kelli, you got the mother better than that, mama. You got the mother better than that because those cute little girls, they shouldn't be feeling bad like that about this show. And you need to explain things. Well, technically, mama's the one on the show, before every now and then y'all might have got caught up on the camera, but y'all are kids and I'm an adult and it's mostly just going to be mama on the show, maybe another time or something. But that, I didn't really like the sound of that. I didn't like the way it sounded. Phaedra told her like, hey, I can give you some tips on that with filming the kids or what, getting the kids to be able to film. And they kind of bonded over the fact that them ex-husbands still be wanting to be in charge even after they done remarried. So I knew she was talking about Apollo musky, useless tail. Jarvis said he was with her at the BET. Ooh. Okay. Tia say Kelli lying. Why would her small kids want to film? She lying. She want to stay on the show. I hope she gets fired. Dang, Tia don't believe nothing you saying, Kelli. Hey, Lady Blue, thank you for being 180, boo. But yeah, so they talked about that or whatever. I guess this is the preamble to Phaedra deciding to help her with the situation with her divorce, which I still feel like that's very big of Phaedra after this lady done set up and called you names unprovoked for no reason. It's just a lot. And Adrienne Marie, you. DS, come get your sister. Why would you say that man need to take his teeth back? DS, come get her. That's a 12-second violation. Okay, Paige say Kelli ain't presenting her kids or her man. She may not return next season. I pray she doesn't. I think a lot of us do. Hold on. Oh, Black Smile sent me a cash app. Let me send a heart back. Thank you, sis. That's so sweet of you. I love my sisters. Yes, it's crazy, right? So I don't know. like at this point, I feel like I got mixed feelings. I don't want Kelli back because I don't want to see her. But y'all also know how I feel about Black women losing jobs, especially when you know they got children and they need their money. So I don't really know how I feel right now. I don't like her. I don't want to see her. I wish I didn't have to listen to her scenes, but y'all know how I feel about Black women losing jobs, you know? And I agree. AP should just ignore Kelli. She should act like it's a gnat buzzing around her. Like, spray her with some Raid or Black Flag or something. Whatever you spray on roaches, just like that. Wait. Kelli got interviewed by Andy's assistant on her YouTube channel, and Jarvis was there. He's cute and he dresses nice. Yeah, I'm not watching her YouTube channel. I really don't like that girl. I can't stomach not an extra second of her. Hey Venus Lacey, hit the like button, girl. And Antoinette say, may Kelli go to wear Claudia Jordan and Toyota forever. Praise the Lord. Y'all tough. Y'all are tough. Small women that step to a tall woman. Let's see what happened. No, because she not just short. Jay is a gym mate. She's short and she misshapen. She looked like she be struggling to move her arms around. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Like if it's two women the same size and y'all getting a little shoving or a tugging match or something, or even if y'all just straight up squabble, I'm really okay. But when it's a mismatch like that, it's on Andy Assistant channel. Oh, okay, sis, text me the name of the channel. Text it to me. And I'm going to go check it out. As long as it's not on Kelli's channel. I just can't. I can't with her. So, yeah, anyway, Kelli hiding a new man. They talk about the divorces or whatever. Then we get Stinky Cole and her family, Angela and her daughter, and 50 Cent shows up. Okay, so the little girls are cute. Let's just get that out the way. These are the cutest little muffins. Okay, thank you, sis. Cutest little muffins. Pinky's daughter in her little green and her puffs on her head was absolutely adorable, and she was posing it up. They asked Cent to help her, get some poses in, and little mama was serving face and everything. She was adorable. Angela's little girl was cute, and they looked like they had on mommy and me outfits, which I absolutely love. Too cute. Cynthia helped the little cutie pie pose. That was great. And then the ladies went and sat down. So Pink is still going with that lie K Michelle told. And my thing is, I don't like when people tell bold-faced lies and nobody checks it. Like, that's a pet peeve of mine. So Pinky's like, well, with K Michelle, because Cynthia was like, all I've seen is Porsha like genuinely trying to build a friendship with this girl and what's really going on. So she's like, well, you got to understand, Kay say her first time meeting Porsha was her exposing Kelli for hunching a Nigerian preacher that also flies planes, that ain't no stewardess. But we all covered that that's a lie. Because that meeting with K Michelle and Kelli, little Miss Coochie Pop and Kelli, that was after Porsha's party, wasn't it? That was after Porsha's party. Let me know. Was it before or after? But I know it was after K Michelle and Porsha met up solo. They met solo. And that was when K Michelle was talking about that Atlanta had been a mean girl city to her. That was when we first found out that K Michelle had an issue with Drew Sidora because Porsha was like, Drew's telling her who was going to be at her house at this party. And she was like, oh, everybody going to be there and Drew's going to be there and you be nice. You beefing with everybody, with all the singers who you not beefing with. Right. Thank you, Robust Adventure. It was after the party. So her and Porsha met up before the party, and it's on film. We all saw this. So the fact that K Michelle can get away, it was a photo shoot. The fact that K Michelle can get away with telling that lie, nobody is checking her for telling that lie. It's on camera that's a lie. Now you got Stinky Cole repeating this lie back to Cynthia. Oh, well, see, the first time she met Porsha, she was exposing Coochie Pop and Kelli. And then the next time she mentioned miscarriage. What the hell does that mean? She mentioned miscarriage and Cynthia was like, oh, no, because it's bull crap. Porsha said, was it a miscarriage? She said that's what she thought it was, and that's what Cynthia said too. There was literally not a problem until she doubled back and decided to pretend she was offended because she was clearly not offended when it was said. There was not a look on her face. There was no body language change. She said, yeah, that's what I thought too. So K Michelle went from, yeah, that's what I thought too, to now, because you asked me if I had a miscarriage, that's you being a mean girl. Bull crap. Red say Pinky didn't even have to try to get a relationship with Porsha. The girl picked the side. Yeah, just pick the side, and that's fine. Some people, you don't like them at first sight. When I first saw Pinky Cole, I didn't like her. Ask Bianca. Ask our head archangel in the chat. Because I didn't know who Pinky Cole was. I had heard of Slutty Vegan. I thought the name was disgusting. I don't like stuff like that. Like, why are we being vulgar around food? What does vulgarity have to do with food? Like, what's really wrong with you? But when I saw her, I was like, no, absolutely not. No. Before the season started, when they first announced she was going to be on the show, so on site, I was like, no. And I knew nothing about that lady at first sight. No. So what I'm saying is, it's perfectly cool if she saw Porsha and was just like, yep, she not my kind. I can dig all of that. But what is we lying for? Because if I just don't like you, I just don't like you. I don't have to make up a reason. A lot of times people prove me right when I don't like them immediately, but I don't have to make up a reason. If I don't like you, I don't like you. Bianca said, you sure didn't. I was excited for her to be on the show to get this. Right. Bianca was legitimately excited for Pinky Cole to be on the show. And I was just like, nope, that ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. K Michelle and Porsha told Porsha that she was trying to have a child. Then later said the seat was soaking wet. Right. What else are you going to think? Yes, Sean, it was no at first sight. No at first sight. Oh, the babies were adorable. Oh, I could just eat up the little muffins. I love little girls. That's one of my things. I love pretty little black girls. They just tickle my heart. They let me know that the world is not completely devoid of hope. There is still hope because the Lord is still making pretty black girls. So that means that there is hope. Okay? The lily is still in the valley. And he's still the bright morning star. It's still good news. So I'm always happy to see beautiful little black babies. So they talked about that or whatever. And Cynthia was like, basically saying she thanked God for removing her from the mess. Hey, cool gamer. And Angela starts talking about they had an ex in common, and Cynthia didn't know nothing about that because apparently it wasn't that deep. And then Angela starts talking about her and Shamea. And then Stinky Cole had a point. She had a point. Pinky Pinky had a point because she went back to the fact and just called Angela out. And I was like, come on, come through. You ain't going to make me like you, but I can take you better. Pinky was right. Pinky told Angela, well, you have a habit of instigating. You got a habit of instigating stuff. And I say, well, all right. Pinky, your mouth good for something, girl. And she say, I ain't saying you always do it on purpose. She basically told her, sometimes I think you be just legitimately being nosy and want to know what the hell going on. But you still be starting stuff, whether you mean to start stuff or not. And I'm not going to say that Angela means to or not means to start stuff. What I pick up from Angela is that she don't care if it starts something or not. She don't care if it starts something or not. I just want to know because y'all pussyfooting around. That's the energy I get from Angela. But I did appreciate Pinky for calling it out. Her and Angela kind of chuckled about things. And she told him she had to sit down a one-on-one with Porsha. Cynthia tells Angela she need a one-on-one with Shamea, and she's sure Shamea would sit down, and she did. No, Angela didn't argue much about it because she knows she's messy. Robo says, I wish we could have seen the full sit down with Porsha and Pinky. Looks like it was funny. I think production didn't play it because nobody got to talk but Pinky. Nobody wants to hear her monologue. And that's what Pinky Cole does. She monologues. She's going to give you a soliloquy because you're not getting a word in. You're not getting one word in. So I think that's why we didn't get the whole sit down, because who wants to hear her? What they say she doing TED Talks. They don't want to hear her TED Talks, So anyway, you get Kelli and Shamea at the orthodontist office, right? They do this whole, we got on matching outfits, and Shamea got to straddle the lady and sit on her lap and be all wild and ignorant and stupid. I'm just like, okay, enough is enough. So he spent $70,000 on my teeth. Shamea had to make a joke about 70,000 karaoke sessions. Y'all know I'm not finna say that. I'm not finna do that filthy talking. By putting her mouth on the man 70,000 times Kelli talking about she's only done it 15 times. And I was just grossed out. Then we found out Shamea introduced her to Jarvis. Now, if it go wrong and he turned out to be married, I don't want to hear nothing, because Shamea, you was quick to say you the one introduced and put Porsha with Simon, which I believe you were, because I believe you the one told Porsha that girl was pregnant, and Porsha ran and snitched it out, or you and her both snitched on that girl. Y'all could have snitched on Fallon together. I don't know, but that's what I believe. I've been said that, and I'm sticking to it. I believe it. So here we find out she introduced her to Jarvis. This man she calling Jarvis. We don't know his real name. So I guess Kelli trying to recycle and reheat Kim Zolciak nachos by not saying the man's real name on the show. Kim Z did it first. She did it best. We don't need a Big Papa reheat. We don't need it. Say he spent 70 grand on teeth. My thing is this: if he could spend 70 grand, you should have had him spend 70 grand to bail, in my opinion, to bail out your restaurant. 70 to bail out your restaurant, 70 to pay off your debtors for that. Help you pay off them debts so you don't have to be talking about bankruptcy and closing restaurants you just open. That's why I said I do not believe that man gave her no full 70 racks for no teeth. You're not going to tell me that and I believe you. You're not. Not to have me believe you. I don't. I believe he might have gave her part of the money on it, but I believe that it's some payments on them teethuses. That's what I believe. I do. That's what I believe. Because either that or you the stupidest woman alive. You got debts. You talking about bankruptcy. Your restaurant grand opening, grand closing. You in a cramped condo because you lost your house. You being sued by credit card companies for $20-some thousand at that time. But you asked him for teeth money? Okay. Whatever. If that's what you said. If that's what you said. Well, if it's one of Shamea's hookups, I'm sure he's probably an African man, and a lot of them like tick old bitties. So he ain't gonna pay to cut no tick old bitties down, not if he want her to keep them. He's not gonna want them taken off. You know what I'm saying? It's just something about that story sound fishy, and the fact that Shamea was so quick to say, "Oh, I hooked her up." You think I'm gonna hook my bestie up with somebody who's broke and all this other stuff? I'm just like, Shamea, you be telling on yourself. Sometimes you should talk less. He sent flowers. She called the man, talked to the man. And she talking about she hiding the man because these people like to sleep with people's husbands. You don't have a husband. You got somebody who bought you some teeth. It's not your husband. And they left out doing piggyback rides with Kelli sitting on Shamea's back. You know, that was a wasted scene for me. Then we get Drew, her manager, and her team. We find out she got 20 people on her team. She felt the need to let us know that she say she pay everybody, because there's rumors out that she don't pay people. Girl, it's more than rumors. You don't pay people. That's how you got sued by Miss Claudia Gregory, who your current boyfriend, Mr. Black Smoke, stole $69,000 from. And I got the bank papers too. I got them. You ain't paid that lady them. He ain't paid that lady that money back. And Drew, you didn't want to pay that lady either, and she had to sue you. And we seen the proof of that too. Okay. Anywho, so they sitting down. She got a new assistant named Keon. She got a hairstylist, music manager. She got 2 assistants. One is a driving assistant. One of them just an old man that she said is her assistant. They in there bickering and arguing. The driver, Danny, apparently maybe like the only straight man on her team, and they don't like him. And they calling him lazy. The other one called him fat. He looked like he want to slap somebody. Drew got a lot of dysfunction over there. Hopefully it works out, because the driver told the young man named Freedom that he be on the job drunk at work. And then the guy started talking over him and saying that, you know, you like a double stuffed Oreo and fat this and fat that. Drew talking about firing people, but we didn't see her fire nobody. Okay. Don't know why we needed to see that. I guess that's all she got. So then you get the meetup. This is where more of the lies come out by accident. This show, more lies are exposed by accident on this show than anything else. So let's talk about it. Cynthia brought Porsha, Pinky brought K. As soon as they get in the restaurant, it starts storming. The sky just opened up. The sky is falling. Okay. Then you get K Michelle talking about, I'm gonna take that as a sign that God telling me to be the bigger person. Bigger person for what? You're a nut job. You mean you hoping somebody else will be the bigger person and overlook your irrational, disrespectful, rude, and cantankerous behavior toward them? Is that what you mean? Because I was really trying to understand which bigger person was she gonna be. Because you're not gonna grow. So how you gonna be the bigger person? Okay. And maybe that's what she doing, girl. She might be looking for a spinoff, but don't nobody want to watch it. Just like the candy shows. I agree. So they start, talking or whatever. They, laugh a little bit. Pinky and Cynthia say they gonna leave the table and let them two talk on their own. And then Pinky was like, oh, I'm about to lose my voice. And Porsha was like, oh, good. And so Pinky laughed it off. And it's like, be a good sport because you talk a lot. And so Porsha referenced the one-on-one talk she had with Pinky. And she said she couldn't get a word in at all on Motor Mouth. And said she basically agreed to the meetup so Pinky would quit talking. And I believe that too. So they sitting there, Kay and Porsha. So Kay is sitting there trying to be, rational and talk like she got some sense. And she said, I really wanted to hear you and, what you had to say, but I didn't think you would listen to me. And so Porsha told her, yeah, I was already closed off. I was completely closed off because I had already heard this from too many other people because you talked to all them other people and you ain't talked to me. You could have called me. So K Michelle was like, well, I can take accountability for that. I can apologize for that because I shouldn't have done that. I should have talked to you, which is true. So, and Porsha told her, look, it just had me feeling like I'm doing too much. I'm giving too much. And you know what I'm saying? You not on the same page as me. And I'm not really mad at Porsha for that because I'm not going to keep jumping through hoops and saying, what's wrong, friend? What's wrong, friend? And you still giving me your behind the kiss. Absolutely not. So I could dig that. I may not be the biggest fan of the Black Mamba, aka Porsha Williams, but I can admit that nobody ain't supposed to run around kissing nobody behind. If I got to kiss your tail to get along with you, well, let's just go and be enemies. I don't even buy that brand of lipstick. I there's no way. So she's still claiming that, Kelli being outed somehow affected her. It had nothing to do with her, but somehow it affected her. Which I thought was weird. I thought that was super, super, super weird that she keeps hanging on to that. And I think it's because K Michelle needs something to explain to herself and anybody watching why on earth she's trying to have beef with this girl out of the blue for no freaking reason, right? So Porsha was just like, look, in a confessional, like, girl, she don't want to hear it. Kelli made accusations against her first, and she said I was just getting my lick back, and it had nothing to do with Kay, and I agree with her on that note. And so Porsha was like, they can get past it. She can forgive her, but she's taking note that this is K Michelle's second time with her. And she said on the third time, I don't know. She said by the third time, the door might be closed. Because Porsha told her that night at Phaedra House, you ain't gonna have to worry about watching your back because I'm not gonna communicate with you. And to be honest, I think you know what I think, y'all. I think K Michelle was cool for that sit down, came in apologetic and being fake and phony because she realized that Porsha just pays her no attention. She ain't gonna get a whole lot of daylight trying to beef with Drew. I think she knows that would be absolute, to piss Porsha out to the point where she won't even respond to you because you need somebody to go back and forth with, either friendly or unfriendly, to be on that screen. And I think she knows Drew Sidora don't get enough screen time and is not enough of a fan favorite to guarantee a comeback by you having an issue with Drew. She needs to have interaction with people that, are fan favorites and really draw ratings. So I believe that's why K Michelle was willing to, stop some of the stupid and apologize for some of the other stupid stuff, which, it kind of is what it is, right? And this is why she's in charge of the corner, folks. K Michelle should take everyone on a field trip to Lowe's and show what kind of patches she used. Hey, DS, I know you the sheriff, but we're going to give you a 32-second violation. 32 seconds. That's just 32 seconds. That's all. Just 32. Just 32. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, Cynthia and Porsha, Cynthia and Pinky come back to the table with Porsha and K. And so they was like, y'all can come back. We love each other again. It's cool. And so then K Michelle gives Porsha a 48-hour guarantee. If anything happened, I say something to you within 48 hours. And she said, that's my, that's our friend contract. And I was like, in my notes, I wrote FAN in all caps. You are a fan. You are a fan, a fan, a fan. Use a FAN, you a whole fan. So then they start asking about the scheme, like, because I think Cent was like, did y'all get to the bottom of this scheme stuff? And Porsha was like, nah, we ain't even get to that. So let's get to it. So Porsha was like, are you really sitting here telling me you think that I'm scheming on you or getting some dirt on you or whatever? Like, is that really what you sitting up here telling me you think? And so she was like, basically talking like she leaning toward Drew. I was told 3 names and I've talked to all the people and this, that, and the third. So she never really got to it. She's in the confessional talking about, oh no, they know what I'm talking about. And the first one was about trying to connect me to Black. Nobody connected her to that con artist and that thief. Then she said about her smell. Nobody mentioned her odor. No, I don't think anybody on that show even remembered Mano saying that her coochie was stank. And then she said her toes, and even the producer was like, yo, toes, ma'am, what about your toes? And she was like, they saying I got long toes because my toes is long. I don't think anybody cares that your toes are long. I just don't think anybody cares. Like if you have raccoon toes, what can we do about your raccoon toes? That just maybe means you're great at picking up stuff off the floor with your feet. I don't know. But I had never even heard nothing about this lady toes. I ain't heard nothing about this woman toes. Y'all tell me in the chat if y'all heard something about her toes. We done heard about her behind, about her getting a whole face transplant at one point. We didn't know who the hell she looked like. And now we got leaking booties. Mano said some disrespectful stuff, but I ain't never heard nothing about her toes. Only people toes that we heard about was Claudia Clawfoot Jordan and Akbar, which is Candy cousin, the kind of fat girl that be trying to rap that had lost her kids and just barely got them back. Them the only people feet I done heard about. I ain't heard about K Michelle feet. That just sound crazy as hell. Who care about your feet? Can't nobody see your feet for your behind and the puddle behind it. She got on my nerves with that toe stuff. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. So then Porsha was like, well, Drew sat there and asked everybody in that circle, have I told y'all anything about K Michelle knowing this Mr. Black, right? So this is where Shamea outed herself. And now she playing dumb talking about Angela keeps saying I'm the pot stirrer. Because when Porsha said everybody said the girl ain't told her nothing, here come K Michelle. No, everybody didn't say that. Everybody didn't say that. And so Porsha just called out who she talking about. She said, girl, the only person that did not say, no, you ain't said that to me was Shamea. And what Shamea said was this conversation happened before last night or before whenever. So Shamea, it was coming from you. And considering the fact that Drew and Shamea ain't friends, y'all don't talk, how would you know what Drew was talking about? Does Shamea want us to believe that Drew called her to tell her, oh, I don't like K Michelle, so I'm going to pretend like she likes this con artist thieving man that I'm dating called Black? If y'all believe that Drew Sidora called Shamea Morton Wangi to tell her that she had a plot and a plan to attach K Michelle to her current love interest to keep herself on the show, if y'all believe that, put a 1 in the chat. If you call bull crap, give me a 9. Let me put my 9 in the chat because I call bull. What else? Drew could have been saying, I'm going to talk about her in pig Latin to anybody. She wouldn't have said it to Shamea. It just don't make no sense. Nothing she said would have gotten to Shamea. If she said it to Porsha, Porsha wasn't going to call Shamea and say anything. If she said it to Angela, Angela wasn't going to call Shamea and say anything. Hey, ECW. So who in the hell would have been there. Thank you, Hyper. I love the emojis. Who in the hell would have called Shamea to say, "Ooh, girl, I know Drew got a plot and a plan." Shamea, you are stirring the pot. And okay, let's talk about what we know. Is Angela Oakley messy? Yes. Does she instigate? Yes. Is she all the way wrong about Shamea Morton stirring the pot with K Michelle? No, she is not. Because we just saw video evidence of Shamea stirring the pot with K Michelle with information that she didn't even have. Because where would you get it from? Robo say Kay told Porsha and Kelli that Black was in her DMs and showed them the messages. She also told Cynthia, and she told Pinky Cole. She told absolutely everybody. Hey, Patrice, thank you for being 195. That's what I'm saying. It's like, yep, Shamea lied, and we all know it's her. Yes. Red said it'll be another reunion of the reveal of Shamea Snake Ways. The girl is reptilian now. She reptilian. So listen. So after that, you know, of course, K Michelle crazy. Oh, they all know what I'm talking about. And y'all all know what I'm talking about, but that's okay. And it's only one person that's doing this, and it's Drew Sidora. And I'm just sitting there like crazy, right? So now Porsha served Drew up a little bit. She did. Let me know if y'all caught it. Because she was in a confessional and she said that Drew had a long history of trying to dig up dirt on people. I said, oh, now we getting down to it. So Drew got a history of digging up dirt on people. Y'all follow me on this. Me and Eliza is working this out right now. That's why I'm holding her here. This is my emotional support elephant. Drew got a long history of digging up dirt on people, right? Porsha is aware of it. Her and Shamea just fell out last year. So if Porsha know, guess who else knows? Shamea know, right? So Shamea's over here stirring the pot. She the one telling Kay, well, you know, Drew got a habit of trying to dig up people dirt. Why? Because she knows. She knows because the story done been out about Drew trying to get dirt on the people on the show that she arguing and having a problem with. Thus far, she's been unsuccessful. But apparently, it's something to it. Because Porsha says she got a long history of trying to get tea on people that she don't like. But she said this time she don't think she's doing it because Drew wouldn't have had a reason to go after her like that. And I'm with her. She didn't, because we watched her find out in real time. She didn't even know that the man had been in Kay's DM. Like, there was nothing that would have spurred her to do that. Hyper says Shamea did tell her stuff. Why would Kay tell Shamea to stop trying to restart beef with Drew? Thank you. At that dinner. Then suddenly the next morning she fighting with her. Thank you. Yep. Y'all catching it. Y'all catching all the lies, all the stories these people telling. So yeah, they get through all of that. And Porsha just told her, like, girl, I ain't did nothing to look into you because you had not done anything to me. And then Pinky tried to talk over Porsha at the time, and Porsha cut her off and was like, no, if we friends, we gonna get to the bottom of it. I don't know why Pinky Cole don't know how to be a spectator. She want to take over every conversation. I just don't know why. But yeah, she basically at the end of that conversation, Kay in the confessional has decided, okay, I can't put this on Porsha and them. I'm gonna just put it on Drew because it's not adding up. The only person I can target is Drew. And so she was like, the only person that would do that is Drew Tubi Sidora. And then says, well, I like Tubi. Yeah, because if you do any more B movies, you want them on Tubi too. Now, what I did find interesting was her saying when she first came for that sit down in the confessional, she made this little slick remark. I don't know if y'all caught it. She was like, well, I don't think Porsha's a bad person. She just not smart. And I'm like, okay, how many times you gonna call this girl a dumb girl? K Michelle, you not a rocket scientist. You're not a member of Mensa, and you're not a Rhodes Scholar, dear heart. You were dumb enough to put loose silicone in your booty. You dumb enough to try to concoct a plot storyline only to be exposed as the one who's plotting. So what I'm going to need is the pot to not be calling the kettle black. I'd rather you just call kettle one. But you can't be out here displaying your ignorance and lack of cognitive ability and then calling somebody else slow. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm just saying. You let somebody inject silicone, loose silicone, not in an implant, loose silicone into your booty cheeks. And you already had a butt. You didn't even need it. You wasn't even flat. So the first thing I'm going to need K Michelle to do is stop calling people dumb when you ain't smart. Robo say they all dig up stuff on each other. It's not isolated to Drew. I'm sure they found out stuff about K, but that doesn't equal the whole plot. I don't think anybody looked for anything on K Michelle. I'm just going to be honest with you. Because everything we dug up was K Michelle plotting, making conversations, trying to bring people on the show to have an issue with Porsha, recording conversations without telling the people she recording it, trying to set up whole storylines before filming even started. So no, K Michelle is projecting. She's projecting. She was plotting. I put the video up. I called it out before we even heard what Mr. Barefoot had to say. Before we heard from Mr. Barefoot, I had already figured K out. Brandon Martin says, are you hinting at a new Tubi movie called What's Silicone Got to Do With? Hey, DS. 24-second violation. Come get Brandon Martin. Don't worry, your ride coming. Parrot behavior. K just be talking. Yes. And I wish she would stop. B-Licious said, I showed my 77-year-old mother who knows who K Michelle is, what she looked like now. And she said, okay, Michelle is a biracial now. Tell mama no, she just be wearing that mortuary number 5 makeup now. Because when you see her without the makeup, she still look black. But when she put on that mortuary number 5, you know, ethnicity be up in the air. She could be from anywhere. Middle East, Russia, anywhere. So anyway, Angrla and Shamea met up. Now, this is the one. This is the one that we really got to discuss, y'all. We got to discuss this one. I'm sorry. So Angrla and Shamea met up. Before Shamea got in, she was already hostile, asking them, you seen a big, tall lady with a size 12 foot. Nobody's looking at Angrla trying to figure out the size of her shoe because Angrla is freaking tall. When you're that tall, your feet don't even look that big for you because you're tall. The feet match the person. I thought it was corny. It's giving, you know, Shamea's trying to reheat Candace Dillard Bassett's nachos. I'm tired of the reheaters. And it's giving the Loser Alliance. That's all they got is reheated nachos. And by the Loser Alliance, in case you're new, I'm talking K Michelle, Kelli, Shamea, and Pinky Cole. The Loser Alliance is reheating all the housewives' nachos, and I need them nachos in the trash by 5 p.m. tomorrow. A whole lot of stuff came out this scene. You ain't lying, Jasmine. You ain't lying, girl. Hyper said, oh, I can't stand Shamea. She disgusts me with her uncouth self. So uncouth, so crass. So crass. Oh my gosh. But y'all don't go by me because I can be kind of old-fashioned. I think I'm hip, you know. I like Carisha. Spin that ish. Oh, spin that ish. Y'all know I like some of the new stuff. But some, you know, I can get with you when it's a little bit of fun. And stuff. But Shamea makes me uncomfortable. She does things that I can't keep up with. You know. But that's neither here nor there. Just like the whole thing with her and Kelli talking about putting their mouth on men's privates and all this stuff. I'm just... Can we just stick to spin that ish? Oh, spin that ish. I like that. That one's catchy. Catchy. But this takes me back to Sheree exposing that Kenya Moore had done ate some booty before. It's certain stuff that I don't necessarily want to know about these ladies. Just, you know, maybe I'm tripping. It's okay. So Angrla told, because Shamea asked Angrla, oh, why did you ask for a sit down? Angrla said, well, I just want to get to the bottom of the tension between us. And so she was like, well, I mean, because you said that I was stirring up stuff with K Michelle, and, you know, it just feels like you picking on me, right? And Angrla was like, listen, You always ready to be a victim, girl. Ain't nobody picking on you, right? And so Shamea cut in and was, Shamea had the same energy she had with Porsha when she did the sit down last season. It's like she came there looking to fight. She didn't want to talk, get to the bottom of whatever, a little light shade, makeup, move on. She wanted to tussle. And so she's cutting in while Angrla was talking, and she was like, well, yeah, my discernment. And she was like, well, your discernment is off. Use your discernment to sell some houses. Use your discernment to see why you cause drama with other ladies in the group and all this. And your discernment was off when it come to me. And I'm just sitting there like, but it really wasn't, though. It really wasn't. Shamea behaves like a woman who's locked in a mansion all day with nobody to talk to. Yeah, it does give a little stir crazy, just a little. Anyway, so after that, the waitress comes by. Angrla, it was still at a real level. She hadn't gotten elevated yet. So she's asking the girl what y'all got to eat. They talking about kebabs. Shamea is still like in the confessional, like, y'all talking about food. And I'm thinking back, bobbing and weaving. So you want to fight? You just sit down. What do you want to fight with Angrla for? It's giving Angrla. Listen, Angrla Oakley is messy. She is. She starts stuff. She pokes Shamea a lot. Even when Shamea ain't doing nothing, I'm gonna be honest. Angrla does poke her a lot, but Angrla ain't all the way wrong either. Shamea is definitely bothered by Angrla exposing the man behind the mask, not calling her a man. But you know how Scooby-Doo, they snatch the mask off, and what they say, oh man, Smithers, she's mad because Angrla unmasked her like a Scooby-Doo villain. Now everybody can see she's a snake. I saw it last season, but I was literally like the only person at the beginning of the season. Everybody else was like, oh no, poor Shamea, she's so sweet. She's a good friend. Porsha's a big fat meanie, and she's not being nice to Shamea. Shamea's a victim, and she's using her as a puppet. All the bull crap. People was eating that mess up like a pan of Bry's ice cream, cookies and cream. I called it from day one. Every one of my videos is still up. I saw what she was doing. She was pushing buttons and then playing victim. And it ended up not working because Porsha never took the bait. No matter how ridiculous she acted, when she came there with the energy she brought for Angrla that night, trying to pick a fight with Porsha, Porsha was like, yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go and get my food to go. Yeah, let's not do this. I'm going to get my food to go. Shamea was stuck with nothing to do. Now, Angrla gave her what she wanted, but I don't think she wanted it. You know? Mm-hmm. Yep. You remember that? Yeah, I called it. I saw, y'all know, I be seeing. I be knowing. I'm a whole Aquarius. I be seeing, honey. So anyway, after she said that her little discernment line, she was so happy to use her discernment line. It was really kind of whack, but okay. Then Shamea calls her Sasquatch, and she's worried about bobbing and weaving hands and feet. And so, they kind of did things kind of got calm again. Slightly. I'm going to say that, slightly calm again. Hey, the divine Miss M. And then Angrla was basically like, things be happening because you be talking about me, you saying that when you talk about me, I respond. She's like, and you do talk about me. She said, you telling people I ended your friendship. And I think what Angrla is getting at with that, because she keeps bringing it up. Hey, new deal, new me. Hit the like button, baby. The thing is, Angrla keeps bringing it up, partially to poke Shamea. Now, in the beginning, when she kept saying, oh, you said I ended your friendship. You say that I'm the reason you and Porsha ain't friends. Drew Sidora even mentioned it. So I'm like, okay, I can clearly see that they poking Shamea, but I think it's more to it than that. I believe on Angrla Oakley's end, she wants to get into that conversation because she wants the opportunity to tell her, you're not mad about the friendship. You're mad because you got exposed. I think she's fishing for the opportunity to kind of hit her with the rope-a-dope. Like she's trying to draw her into the corner where her back is up against the corner so she can jab her. And then she's not going to have nowhere to run. She's trying to back Shamea in the corner is what she's doing with that. And Shamea's feeling the pressure. she's just not smart enough to, in my opinion, she's not savvy enough. I don't want to say smart. She's not savvy enough to maneuver around what Angela's doing, but Angela's trying to make her, expose herself even further. But anyway, so then Shamea was like, I'm not talking about Porsha. I'm not having no conversation with you about Porsha. Smart move. But then Angela was like, I'm not talking about Porsha. I'm talking about you. This is not about Porsha. It's about you. All right, Lily, good night, sis. And so Shamea was like, but why are you saying I'm stirring the pot between you and K Michelle? And they showed clips from last year's reunion. Now, this I do want to say. The clip they showed from the reunion, y'all, Shamea wasn't wrong. Last season, she was trying to lead Drew and Angela into thinking the things that they thought. So they justifiably thought what they thought, right? But she wanted them to just to think those things, form an opinion about Porsha, and then jump on the bandwagon and join the alliance with her and Kelli to help dogpile on Porsha. That was Shamea's plan. Like, we got to call it what it is. She had an alliance. Britt Edie snitched on her after they fell out and started showing text messages from Shamea and all of that, right? But when Angela didn't take the bait and decide to be a flunky, Angela Oakley doesn't give me flunky energy. She's too smart to be a flunky. So when Shamea brought that stuff to Angela last year, she didn't jump on the bandwagon and like, oh, let me do Shamea's dirty work. She did her own dirty work. She took everything you said and took it to Porsha, and she took it with the message that you were trying to subtly get over to her. It's lopsided. I do more for her. I care more about her. I'm such a victim. She's so mean. She's so selfish. She only thinks about herself. Me, me, me. And so Angela took it back to the girl, just the way you delivered it. She just did it in such a way that you were going to have to answer for what you were saying, and it wasn't going to be that, oh, everybody believes that. Angela made sure that Porsha knew it was really coming from you. Now, did Angela twist the truth? Yes, she lied. She did do some lying last year. And so did Drew Sidora. She did. She did. But Shamea was in a position to be lied on because she was trying to plot, just like she's trying to plot this season. Shamea set herself up for that. And that's why Angela can still poke her right now, because Shamea, you did this to yourself. You did this to yourself. So is Angela poking her? Yes. Does she have her own reasons? I believe so. I think she wants to finish out that argument. Like, this ain't about your friendship. This is because you got exposed, and I exposed you because you were trying to get me in with your alliance. I think she wants to have that conversation with Shamea, but Shamea ain't gonna never let it get there because she knows I believe she knows what's going to come out of it. I think that's another reason why she was so ready to fight, because as long as you're fighting and everybody's yelling, then you got less of a chance to be exposed further, is what I think. So they went back and forth with that. They got the clips from last year's reunion. Angela's in the confessional talking about Shamea deflecting anytime somebody talks about her behavior. Shamea is in her confessional saying, well, she forgave somebody said she would F her husband, and she forgave Phaedra even though that was false. So if it was false, then there was nothing to forgive Phaedra for. And then she's like, but what about me? Why won't she forgive me? All I did was laugh and I apologized. And so what got me with that is you telling Angela you don't want to talk about Porsha, but you talking about Porsha and Phaedra, and Phaedra literally did nothing to Angela. It's giving, well, why you couldn't bond with me and help me take Porsha down then? Didn't work. Angela asked her straight up, like, who you conjuring? Are you conjuring Porsha or Candy? Y'all, this part tickled me. I'm going to just be honest. This part tickled me. Angela wasn't completely wrong, because I looked at what Shamea had on. That looked like something Porsha would wear. Like, what are you? Kind of like her mama, the way her mother's like fixing herself with the long stringy wig, the, dead people makeup on, all that stuff around her eye looked like a bunch of tarantulas having a meeting. She looked just as crazy as her mama. Like, when she walked in that, I was confused. And then when Angela said it, I'm like, well, she low-key is trying to wear something that it do look like something Porsha would wear. It looks crazy. And so when Angela was like, you don't have no personality, you ain't got no mind of your own, she said, who you conjuring, Porsha or Candy or who? And so Shamea took that like, oh, this is how I'm gonna shut that down. You don't know Candy. She said, I don't need to know Candy. I know you. I know you, and I know you ain't got no mind of your own. Who you conjuring, honey? Who is you conjuring? And it was about that time she didn't even really know what to say because Angela had her dead to rights. And I mean dead to rights on that. So I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. Y'all, my pen, y'all see them words? My pen was smoking, baby. My pen was smoking. Because I had to keep up with all of that. So next thing you know, she was like, girl, you ain't got your own identity. She called that girl a lapdog and lipstick. I said, Jesus Christ, not a lapdog and lipstick. The waitress came back interrupting, hey, ladies, and they had the music go. I say, not the waitress over here being funny and interrupting the drama. But I get it. Y'all inside them people's restaurant and you need to stop. Angela say, I'm mad because I ain't going to get my kebabs because I came here to eat, not argue, but this hoe came to argue. So they up there arguing or whatever. Angela called a girl a background singer. She said, what, you want to EGOT too? You trying to, she said, you really want to be like Candy? She said, I don't want to be like you. And she say, girl, I'm self-made. Angela said, I ain't never laid on my back to get on my feet. She said, that's what you did. That's what you do. I say, wait a minute, not laid on your back to get on your feet. Hold on. What we saying here? So then Shamea couldn't respond to that. So she was like, well, Charles be leaving your house in the morning, don't come back to you sleep. And Angela say, hell, she say, but at your house, you the one leaving in the morning and don't come back to late. I say, God almighty. And she said, and when my man be out, he see you in the streets. And I'm sorry, I don't know what Shamea thought she was getting at. If anybody supposed to be in the house, let it be the wife and the mother. You a woman. You's a wife and a mother, Shamea. Why are you not at home seeing about your children? What you doing in the street, mama? So at that point, y'all, my ears perked right the hell on up. I said, what else we finna hear? Because Angela talking like she knows something. Okay. So by that time, she was like, well, just try to keep him home. Apparently, she don't have to. She don't have to try. He come back. So Angela say, girl, let's talk about the Falcons or the Hawks. And she said the Falcons or the Hawks. And I'm sitting there like, Angela, what the hell you know? Y'all, this was one of them moments. And I'm going to be honest, I ain't never dipped snuff nor tobacco. Okay? My only defense is my mama is a Georgia girl and I got Georgia relatives. And I had a strong urge at that moment to put me some tobacco in my bottom lip and get me a spit cup. Because I felt like I'm finna get some good gossip and I need something to calm my nerves while I write this down. Okay? She said the Falcons or the Hawks. My mind immediately say, and your husband is a whole athlete. So them men be talking. I can't tell y'all what done happened this week, but I know for a fact them men be talking. They be having group chats and they be sharing women's stats, faces, pictures, all that in amongst themselves. I'm talking about them dirty behind athletes too. So I'm sitting there like, oh, Angela done got some inside dirt. Y'all don't know how bad I wanted a piece of tobacco in my lip and a spit. Put a one in the chat if y'all know about that tobacco in that spit cup. I don't want to feel like I'm the only country girl in here. I don't want to feel like that. Put a one in the chat if y'all know what I'm talking about. But I needed that at that moment. I did. Agent say that's right. Why Oak told her your girl was out there doing. Yeah. Because a woman ain't never got no business out there in the street like that. They been saying, even Britt Edie, Bang Bang Sleazy last year, put that on her and said that she was out there popping coochie behind her husband back. Ooh, y'all. Listen. I'm glad I ain't the only country girl in here because I needed some backup for that. Not to be confused with tobacco. I needed some backup and a spit cup. I said, oh, hell no. Angela done got some inside dirt on us. And so Shamea told me, I'm a great host. It pays well. You need one of them jobs because real estate ain't working. And I'm like, girl, do you know what you're making yourself look like while you up here bouncing around town? I'm a great host. Host? The hell you hosting? I said, oh, no. Shamea, you going to tell on yourself. If Shamea mess around and lose that good money, that good man, I was outdone. I was done. Okay? So anyway, messed me up. And so Angela said, but why are you sticking around so long? She said, why are you sticking around? So you hosting parties, but Angela's up here telling us, y'all, that you ain't just hosting no parties, you sticking around after the fact. Because when Shamea said, oh, that job pays very well, you need to get you one of them jobs, Angela said, you mean the men pay very well? I say, not the men paying very well. Oh, no. Oh, no. This ain't sounding right. She done heated up Angela Oakley and she telling everything. So then, then Shamea talking about the nose job. It ain't this and that ain't paying well. Angela was like, girl, I got multiple business and they all pay well. And then she told her about that, and she mentioned, called her Sasquatch. You got big feet. Angela said, I got big feet to walk all over your A. So then she gonna stand up, and I got a good look at that outfit again. And Angela, she gonna tell Angela, you kiss this A. And Angela was like, girl, you not my type. She said, with your fake A. So Angela done broke the fourth wall. We was all assuming that Shamea got work done because now her booty is misshapen. And last year and all the years before, Shamea's booty was perfectly round. It was cute. I didn't know what was wrong with her booty. Her booty looked fine to me last year, but apparently she wanted something that looked a little more like Porsha, which explains why she wanted the rum company to make a bottle shaped like her butt. I'm like, you just got the butt. It ain't even finished settling yet. And you want a bottle molded after the shape of your butt for it finished setting. Them surgeries take a while to settle in. We don't even know what it's gonna be when it's done. But Angela called it out, talking about with your fake butt, and then told her go buy a new one. I say, hey, not a new one. This one ain't settled yet, Angela. She can't buy no new one. And so then she and the confessionals after the fact, and Shamea talking about she can't get her stuff straight and this and that. And Angela say, and you calling me Sasquatch, and she sleep with Sasquatch, and tell her husband to look in the mirror and faces don't lie. And then say, and why you running? I say, Mr. Gerald didn't deserve to catch no stray. Now, is he a nice looking man? No, he ain't. He ain't. But men don't have to be pretty. It's like the more money they got, the more leeway they got on their face a little bit, especially if they love the Lord. You know, if you find you a saved man with a good bank account, you can get past the fact that you got to squint a little bit, you know. And Gerald seemed like he's saved. So, you know, Shamea can do this. Hey, honey, just, you know, squint. But I know she better not lose that good money. I know that. I know she better not do that. But yeah, Angela ain't had to get that man he didn't have to catch no stray because he ain't bothering nobody. The only thing he did was marry Shamea. He ain't committed no crimes. I am not gonna join in on picking on Mr. Gerald. Mr. Gerald seemed like a nice man. Only the last thing Shamea could come up with, which was nothing, was work on your marriage. It seems like her marriage is fine. She ain't the one over here panicking about no babies. That would be you, mama. Her marriage seemed fine. Whatever Charles is, she like it. You know, as Black folks, we love to say, if you like it, I love it. We all know Angela like it. She like it. I don't care what Uncle Charles do. Angela likes it. So ain't nothing to work on for her. Ain't nothing to work on for her. At all. But I do not support picking on Mr. Gerald because that man ain't bothered nobody. Like I said, he's been nothing but, he seems like a very sweet gentleman. He seemed to love his wife and his children, and I ain't gonna pick on that man. Now, if he, you know, in the future should cross the line, you know, I get anybody and I can decide I don't like him at the drop of a hat. But for right now, you know, that's some good money. I mean, a good man. And Shamea need to try to hold on to her husband while she up here hooching around in the chair, rubbing on herself, talking about I'm a good host. You gonna mess around and lose that good money. Shamea would be insane to ruin her marriage over Hawks or Falcons athlete. Angela poking the bear. You ain't lying. Bianca says she's been doing it for 10 years. Why stop now? She'd be a fool too. Right. You better not mess up that good man, marriage, money, all that. Hyper say, I agree. That's the only thing I didn't like from Angela. Leave Gerald out of it. Yeah, leave that poor man alone. He ain't bothering nobody. He don't even want to be on camera. That man don't want none of this attention. And I really feel bad for gentlemen like that because their wives just want to be on TV. They want to be popular. They want to be stars. And these men just kind of get caught up in the crossfire. And this man really don't say nothing about nobody. It don't matter what she try to tell him. He just look at her like she got a bird on her head. And he mentioned a little something about their real life, and that be that. Deborah say from the synopsis for next week episode, the cracks in Shamea relationship began to show. Well, I don't relish that. I'm gonna just say that. I don't relish that. I don't get excited seeing black marriages end. I don't care which ethnic group it is. Y'all, try to stay together if you can. That's for anybody in the chat. If you bickering with your old man, find a way to make peace. I don't like to see black families going through stuff like what Ralph and Drew did, or what Kelli and that pot-bellied man did, or any of that. We can't count Simon and Porsha because they ain't had no children and they ain't had no business together in the first cotton picking place. But that ain't none of my business, so I'm a hush. Okay. What I will say is this. She need to be careful. You around here acting like a madam, introducing your friends to these people. Oh, because I want to introduce my bestie that nobody broke. You acting like you the whole broker. Like something about Shamea's story is looking real funny. And if she ain't too slick, Angela Oakley gonna be the one to put out there. Say for those extra men Shamea found. Please don't go find them. Just anticipate, say, especially with them young kids. Yeah, I don't like to see that. When them children still in school and stuff, that's not good. That's the last thing that we need to be engaging in. And as a black audience, we don't need to be cheering for that, championing that. We ain't even supposed to be entertained by that, to tell you the truth. That's never anything pleasant or positive. It ain't funny, like, at all. But I do want to know, this episode, what y'all giving them on a 1 to 10? 1 to 10, what you giving them? If you ask me, I'm going to give it a 7.5. It was way too many scenes with Kelli and Shamea for me. I'm going to give it a 7.5. The scene with Pinky, Cynthia, Angela, it was enjoyable. The meetup with Pinky, Cynthia, K Michelle, and Porsha, enjoyable. It was a little messy, but at least we got to the truth. Right. She know him because she out here hosting. She hosting. That's why she know him. That's exactly why she know him. And then that final scene was a humdinger. So I'm definitely gonna give him a hot 7.5. I see a lot of 7s, 7.5s. Let's see what happens next week. I'm praying we don't see nothing too damaging between her and Mr. Gerald. Like I said, I told y'all I like that little old man. He seemed real cool, laid back. He ain't trying to be on camera. He ain't dancing all in the videos. So that's really that on that. Just Anticipate gave him a 5.5. Auntie Eva gave him an 8. So we got everything from a 5.5 up to an 8. So it looks like ain't none of us really in no big disagreement. Like we all kind of in the same neighborhood. Lady Blue giving them an 8. Just Anticipate, the only person took him down to a 5.5. DS, this is why you stay in the corner. I'm not even putting that on the screen. Just take yourself back over there. But what I will say is, like I said, for me, 7.5 all the way. I do kind of want to see what happens in Scotland because they did show that mid-season trailer again. I want to know how it went from Shamea bringing up the mamas, going back and forth with Porsha, to her sitting in the Sprinter van crying. Because I hope that this is not in chronological order, that you kicked up all this dust to only be the one that ends up crying, because that would be really pathetic. But yeah, let's see what happens, y'all. Let's see what happens. I don't think we got coming attractions for next week yet, or maybe they're online. That's how Deborah saw it. Y'all know Deborah is like, she is in charge of the girls when it comes to Housewives. She always has it straight, and I kind of depend on her being here. Okay, so we'll see what happens next week. I will keep watching the gossip rags during the week, and you said you was just about to say it. See there, because y'all thinking the same thing. But yeah, I will be watching the gossip rags next week, and y'all know how I go. even when I don't want to talk about them, I will obviously and always be back as the gossip permits. Last week, you know, it was quite a bit going on. K Michelle plotting. The barefoot African guy did his interview and outed her. Then we had the whole issue with the guy that Drew is dating, being a con man and hitting women up for money. It was a lot we had to talk about. So we will see what happens this week as the gossip rolls out. We gonna roll out too. Okay, so that's it. That's all. That's my entire review. I enjoyed y'all. We made it through 7.5 full pages of notes, and I enjoyed every minute of it. So y'all know what time it is, right? If you didn't hit that like button on the way, please hit your notification bell. Make sure you click all so you'll know every single time we go live on this good channel. Okay. If you're in Discord, you'll know first because I always tell them first. So make sure that y'all join Discord. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, because you know we're happy to have you here and you know you love it here. Okay, this is where love resides, honey. So make sure that you subscribe. If you want to join channel membership, hit the join button beneath the video or the membership link in the description box. Now, also in the description box is my book, Little Girl, Big World. It is a survival guide for all of our girls who are leaving home for the first time. Even if they've been gone for a year or so, get a copy. All kind of tips, safety items, and things that will help them make sure that they come back to us safely. You know, we do not play about our girls on this channel. If you can't afford a copy, holler at me in Discord and I will see to it that you get one free of charge. You can also go on Amazon.com, type in Seanitra, and that book will pop right up. Now, also in your description box, we got the link for our merchandise store so you can get your crown gear and represent for the royal family. We have the link for our Amazon storefront so you can shop for your house like I shop for mine. And last but not least, I have the link for my Amazon wish list in case you want to send me more notebooks and pens to bail me out, because I go through notebooks like 90 going north, okay? So that way we can keep the story straight. And there's snacks and other little knickknacks, doodads and whatever. And I appreciate any and all support that we receive on this channel. Special thanks to Adrienne Marie, to Deborah Randall, to Brandon Martin, to N. McKinney, to Brian, to Richard Wilson, and also to Black Smile for supporting the stream. Thank y'all so much. As always, y'all going to bed. Yes, Eliza the elephant is telling y'all good night as well. My emotional support elephant. So yeah, please, y'all, good night, sweet dreams, say your prayers. When you get up tomorrow, remember to be positive and productive. Encourage the people around you, and do not forget to encourage yourself. And remember, in case no one else says it to you, God loves you, I love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. See y'all again as the gossip permits.